those people who invest in big business, this is going to affect you guys. Matter of fact, that fire in California negatively impacted the real estate industry, which means that while we talked about that yesterday, anybody that's investing in real estate investment trusts need to go back and check your stock option and see if it started declining. Because if any of your REITs had real estate in California, it took a dive this past week. So between California burning to the ground and the political powers in Canada retiring, Donald Trump taking over, and then not only is he taking over, he's trying to take over everything touching the United States at the same time. He's like the biggest kid in the playpen talking about everything within reach is mine. At least for the next 4 years. And at his current age, he could literally spend 6 weeks after his last day as president and then have a heart attack, because he's about as old as Biden. So if he could finish 4 years without any health issues, he could definitely finish as one of the groundbreaking presidents in our current time. And since Obama, we haven't had anybody make massive moves that directly impacted the current political environment. Because most of the time when a president does something, it's a work in process kind of situation. It takes 2 consecutive terms to make it happen. You start seeing the results from the current president after the president leaves office for the second term. But the stuff that he's doing is direct impacts right now. And that's why tomorrow, when we start getting onto the show, we're going to be talking about exactly what can he do to stop the Supreme Courts from kicking TikTok out of the country. Because unless he buys it, he could buy it, and then it'll be owned by the president of the United States. The same way Elon Musk is on the cabinet for Donald Trump, and Twitter is now a Republican platform almost, but it basically promotes news on Twitter. So you got to understand that where you go to get your information from, this stuff actually benefits. Instead of just running off to CNN or just running off to Fox or something like that, you just scroll through social media and see what everybody's talking about, because you get a lot of information from a lot of different places. But what you get from this and that, we got it from everywhere and then pieced it together and tried to make it make sense for you. So what we're looking at right now, we're looking at a whole new world, right? Because robotics is going to take over the workforce. We're going to change the name of the Gulf. So we're going to be swimming in American water regardless. And then we might be able to bring our AK-47s to Canada. That's what I see so far in the first 180 days. But you got to remember, Project 2025 wasn't just about that. It was about a lot of other things that nobody read that 950-page document. I went over the document over the podcast back in September and August, or was it July and August, back when we were getting red flags by every social media channel because we were talking about this 950-page packet. And then all of a sudden, somebody decided to play favorites with that particular packet. Look, it was designed for whoever takes over next to implement it. So one of the things we're going to be seeing right now is, just like he said, the tax shift. You're going to see that happen, where not this tax season, but next tax season, you're going to see the 2-tier tax setup. You're going to see he just finished talking about not too long ago doing a cap on the $10,000 worth of deductions in blue states. So in Democratic states, he's got the Republican parties going over there trying to negotiate caps on deductions at $10,000. So it doesn't matter how many deductions that you think you can have, you're only going to get 10,000 of them if he puts those caps there, as opposed to eliminating deductions altogether, which is what the original Project 2025 proposal had. He's actually talking about negotiating, putting some caps up there. Now, how does that affect the top 1%? It doesn't. Most of the wealthiest people run their money through their LLCs and their C corporations, and then their LLCs and C corporations donate money to their trust, and their trust pay for the overhead. And the difference between the total quantity of money paid and lost versus the amount of money received from donations is where they have less taxes to pay. So while the trust might pay for taxes, the dividends paid to the beneficiaries of the trust, i.e., the families, like the Trump administration and everything to that effect. You got to think about the fact that those trusts are funneling money to a bank account where dudes don't got to pay taxes. So the rest of us that are working W-2 jobs, that are twiddling our thumbs and working at the grindstone for somebody else to get rich, the cap on deductions, that's going to hurt us. Now, remember, we just finished talking about over the past couple years, or not even the past couple years, past couple days, that people just realized that paying taxes is voluntary and that there is no negative repercussions for not filing taxes. There's negative repercussions for fraudulent filing or withholding information if you file, but there's no negative repercussions on the fact that you choose not to file. 70-something% of people that voted for Trump might like what they see. They might like what they see. A lot of people are not going to like what they see because, as he's already said, there's only two genders.